To Stretching the Word. I'm your host, Sister Valerie. And not today, devil. This week on Stretching the Word, we have one word that we were going to talk about. And that word is promise. So let's see what Merriam-Webster has to say about the word promise. A declarative statement, a declaration that one will do or refrain from doing something specified. Now, let's see what the King James Bible Dictionary has to say about this. The blessed assurance of God that he will do what he says he will do. Also, whereby is given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. He is faithful that has promised. We can count on God that he will never go back on his word. He'll abide with all who trust in him and bless all those who truly bless his name. So there you have the meaning of the word promise. That's why I never make a promise, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to carry it out. Sometimes we say things with good intention, but can we really act up on them? Well, think about it, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So be careful and don't make those promises. Say, I want to, I hope to, or I may be able to. But now let's go to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. And we know 3 is not too far from 1. So in Genesis, which is, like I said, only 1 in between 1 and 3, there's only one number. But in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, there were a couple of promises or a couple of declarative statements made. And we'll find out if they were really brought to pass. Now, in the 3rd chapter, where verse 4, where the snake was talking to Eve, and the snake told her, death will not certainly come to you. That was a declarative statement. And he was being a con man. And so he told them that death will not certainly come to you. But we know the devil lied. And so he couldn't back that up. Because guess what? Death came to them. Spiritual death came to them. And then natural death came to them. Even though it took a long time for them to die, yet natural death came to them. Something that was never supposed to happen to them. So after that, God came back and he had to make his declaration. And we know that the promises of God are yea and amen, and that he truly can back up everything that he said. So he made a promise to the devil, and it went like this. He says, in verse 15, he says, and there will be war between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. By him will your head be crushed, and by you his foot will be wounded. I'm reading the BBE version. It brings it out a little more better so we can all get some understanding. So here, God makes his statement. And truly, that is still happening today. That yes, the devil is attacking us. And yes, we're bruising his head. But then he also goes a little further and he said, to the woman, Great will be your pain in childbirth. In sorrow will your children come to birth. Still your desire will be for your husband, but he will be your master. That doesn't mean that our husband treats us like slaves, but that just means that we have to humble ourselves under him as he under the Lord. And we all know if you've had a child, oh, the pain. Some is worse than others, but still, there's pain in childbearing. And then he goes on to the man, and he tells the man, because you gave ear to the voice of your wife and took of the fruit of the tree which I said you were not to take, the earth is cursed on your account. In pain, you will get your food from it all your life. And then we're going to skip down to 19, and it says, with the hard work of your hands, you will get your bread till you go back to the earth from which you are taken. And we know that that's true because we have had to work hard ever since to make a living, to feed ourselves. So, these were the first 3 declarative statements, as you would say, or promises that were made. But we know one didn't come to pass. But we can depend on the promises of God because he can back up his word every time.